Fox Sizemore Stiggs has a look.
There are occasions when using a bullet, a live round, is appropriate. Other occasions in law enforcement training, it's not needed. In fact, the APD literally changes the barrels in some of their guns for mock scenario training when a live round is not needed. This is practice, but it's not make-believe. When police officers are on the firing range with live rounds being evaluated on their skills.
And our salesperson, when they pick this firearm up, they're going to check, make sure it's unloaded. Each cylinder, they'll run through it, and they'll hand it to the customer.
A major Georgia gun dealer, of course, has in stock primarily live ammo and real guns. But at the Smyrna Adventure Outdoor Store, a movie has been filmed here. And the dealer carries both the type of weapon and the blank ammunition that has sparked so much controversy due to a set death in Hollywood. Somehow, a real round was left inside the chamber.
A single action revolver. To check and see if it's loaded, you open the gate here and spin the cylinder.
The blank round is barely one half the size of a real round that you see has the projectile.
Alleviate some of the backlogs we're seeing at seaports across the country. So compare that to what's going out west. What you're seeing on your screen right now, this is the port of Los Angeles. Hundreds of ships stranded out at sea, not going anywhere. Their containers not being unloaded. And here's the end result. Empty shelves at stores across the country and supply shortages ahead of the holiday season. There are a lot of factors at play here, and if these cargo ships were to be redirected from the West Coast...
Excuse me, but do you mind telling me what you're going to do with the batteries that comes out of this when they go bad? Where do they end up? Anybody know? That is a very important question for our environment. We don't want it seeping into the groundwater, do we?
Act of 2021 passed back in March, and it modifies the IRS reporting requirements for transactions using these cash apps. When the new rule takes effect on January 1st, the apps will notify the IRS when payments top $600, triggering a 1099 form to be sent out.
Regardless of the means of payment, if you're engaged in a business operation of any type and you receive payment, you're supposed to report it to the IRS, even if you hadn't been getting a 1099 of any type before.
It's not a new tax, but some business owners have been getting away with keeping more money in their pockets since the apps haven't been reporting to the IRS until transactions hit 20 grand.
It would definitely result in more people reporting income on their tax return. I'm sure there are people that are tempted when stuff isn't reported to the IRS to just not include it. So it will encourage compliance.
Cracking down on self-employed workers who are making income through the apps, not your personal use. But the line gets a little blurry when the same Cash App account is being used for both personal and business transactions.
They don't have any way of knowing whether you have your own individual side business or a regular business that's just in your personal name.
They're just trying to track who's getting paid where, and if it's actual income, they want to tax it.
You'll start seeing 1099 forms reporting Cash App income in January of 2023. Catherine Hawley, Fox News.
Happening. In a tweet, the governor said, quote, while Stacey Abrams and the MLB stole the All-Star game from hardworking Georgians, the Braves earned their trip to the World Series this season and are bringing it home to Georgia. A spokesperson for Stacey Abrams issued a response to the governor saying, quote, as Braves fans across the country were celebrating, Brian Kemp swung and missed again with his bizarre deflection of blame for the harm to Georgians resulting from a bill that he signed.
All their hair off. Across the street at the Battery, the manager of the apparel store Baseballism says compared to last year in the middle of the pandemic, profits have shot up nearly 400%.
Now the World Series is here, so you have people wanting to go to the World Series just in general. You have Braves fans that now the Braves are in the World Series, so they're of course buying tickets. And then you have the people that just wanted to go to Atlanta that missed out on the All-Star game.
Earlier this year, local businesses missed out when Major League Baseball moved the All-Star game out of Georgia in protest over the controversial new voting law. It's not clear exactly how much of an impact there was.
Certainly the World Series will replace the All-Star game. There's no question about that. Any losses that were sustained will be more than replaced.
Georgia State University economics professor Dr. Bruce Seaman estimates that every game played at Truist will pump roughly $8 million into the local economy, $24 million if 3 games are played. But he says in the grand scheme of things, it's really just a drop in the bucket.
There's going to be an economic impact, but anybody who thinks it's going to be a huge economic impact, either in total dollars or percentage of the relevant economy, certainly are going to be disappointed.
Now, the majority of the economic activity will be felt down here at the Battery, but all of the Atlanta metro area could see a boost thanks to people coming from all over the country to see the World Series. At last check on StubHub, tickets were going for about $1,000. At Truist Park, Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
The Braves are now.
I don't think this storm has made its mind up what it is going to do yet. Nice and dark up there to the north. I hate rain. It makes me ache everywhere.
Edward Patterson identified themselves as tribal police officers.
So he had it hanging around his neck. It looked like a police ID, it looked like a police badge hanging around his neck.
And he identified himself as tribal police?
Correct. So they were on official business heading up to Atlanta for an investigation.
Deputies say driver Edward Hanner had a suspended Pennsylvania driver's license. On the video and under the traffic noise, he can be heard telling the deputies that he's not required to have a license under tribal law. Deputies say they then checked with officers at the Cherokee Tribal Marshal Service, and they say they've never heard of Hanner and Patterson.
The deputy contacted the Cherokee Nation authorities, and he was told by them that they don't know who these people are. So at that point, they were taken into custody for impersonating a police officer.
Both men were taken into custody and charged with impersonating police officers. Hanner was also charged with driving on a suspended license. I'm Doug Evans, Fox 5 News.